There's information to pass along about frostbite, and it certainly can happen in a hurry. Martha Robinson is here, coordinator with the Extreme Weather Committee here in the nation's capital, which is a group that's come along necessarily, I guess, this committee, eh?
That's right.
You know, depending on what season it is, we seem to be having extreme weather all over the place.
Yeah, summer and winter.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, this is kind of cold that we haven't felt in quite some time here. People are saying 7 or 8 years it hasn't been this cold in the capital. And it's a pretty good stretch of it, eh?
It is. It's a full week of solid cold.
Yeah.
It's not just the one day.
When it gets this cold, frostbite can happen pretty quickly. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, within a few minutes, depending on the wind chill.
Right, right. You associate the 4 P's of frostbite. So first is pink, right?
Pink, yeah. Your skin's going to start to turn red in the first phases when your skin's starting to freeze. It's going to get red and angry.
Next is pain. So that area, if in fact frostbite does set in, it's going to be painful.
It is. You're going to feel it. You're going to want to touch it. You're going to want to you notice it.
Yeah. And speaking of notice it, apparently there's a white waxy the patches that show up, and that is an indication that your skin in that area is actually dying. Correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that's patches is the other, and prickles is the 4th P. So you're going to get that like your arm's been asleep or something like that. That kind of feeling.
Tingling.
Yeah, yeah.
Tingling, pain and tingling, that prickly feeling.
Right. What should you do, Martha, if you have these symptoms and you know, you may have a case of frostbite?
Well, your first inclination might be to you know, swap something hot on it, put something really hot, but the key with frostbite is to warm it up slowly. So just using another part of your body to warm it up slowly.
I noticed underarms was pointed out, right? That if your fingers, for example, were feeling the effects of the cold, be it frostbite or not, to warm them up, you want to get them under here and do that sort of thing, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Ears.
Yeah, your ears, the top of your ears. Yeah. Good point. Good point. The tips of your ears are highly susceptible. The tips of your nose, that sort of thing. Yeah. If in fact you do have frostbite, and a lot of people, there's some examples right there. If you do in fact have frostbite, you don't know it. Well, should you go see a doctor as soon as you can?
I think most people with the early stages of frostbite are probably going to be able to look after it on their own by warming it up slowly. But if indeed you do have something that looks very red and angry after it's warmed up, for sure see a doctor, because the circulation's been impacted in that area, and you will need to see a doctor. Yeah,
there are things medical professionals can do that you can't do at home to look after those situations. And of course, there's also things to consider if in fact you have to go outside, and that's one thing you wanted to point out was, you know, think about the conditions, dress warmly, and think about how long you're staying outside, things like that.
Yeah, check the weather and bring an extra pair of whatever you're needing. Extra socks, 2 pairs of mitts. Yeah. It doesn't hurt to have it in your backpack with you, and you'll
even in your briefcase, no matter what, you know, if you're a student or you're a professional working downtown, the wind whips through the downtown core like nobody's business, and makes it even seem colder, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I guess the bottom line is use common sense and be careful as you can out there.
Yeah. Look at the weather and dress for the weather.
Exactly. I see you got a nice turtleneck on, Martha. You're smart. Martha Robinson is coordinator of the Extreme Weather Committee. This spell is going to end in the next couple of days. It'll still be cold, but this is something a lot colder than we've experienced, as we mentioned, in quite some time. So be careful out there, right?
Dress warm.